Said it's time to go. Well, all right. I don't want to go. I say, all right. You never listen to me anyway. You're always talking, never much to say. You remind me of a TV show. That's all right. I'll watch it anyway. Welcome to episode 147 of Nerds Gone Rogue. My name is Matthew Keel. I'm at Infinite_Rewind on every social media platform. And we, Nerds Gone Rogue, are here on YouTube every Monday night between 8:30 and 9 is when we get started. We were 6 minutes late tonight. Our bad. Moose, I'm sorry. Corey, I'm sorry. Viewers,
hey Matt, can I ask you one question?
Yes.
What TV show do I remind you of?
I'm not doing this. Anyway, our content usually goes live.
One of those special ones you have to pay for on the internet, isn't it?
The edited video goes live every Monday at 7 a.m. on YouTube.com/NGR Radio, or any podcast service you might listen to, or Spotify, or iHeartRadio. All those are where you can find us. Please listen. Please check us out. Please interact. You can send us emails at ngrradiopodcast@gmail.com. Uh-huh. And then all of our content goes live on nerdsgonerogue.com as well. That is this show, NGR Radio B-Sides, and Moose's. Say hi, Moose.
Heyo.
Nerds Gone Platinum. You could find Moose at Sven, SVHENN, everywhere. And then the third voice you guys have heard asking me what TV show I remind him of, or he reminds me of. That's our video in chief, our fearless leader, Corey Deerick, Corey in HD 713. How are you, sir?
I'm great. I did a lot of cleaning this weekend.
Fantastic.
Nice.
I got rid of like over 50 articles of clothing, which one might ask yourself, why do I have that many articles of clothing? I don't know, but that's why I got rid of it.
As someone who owns 115 hoodies, I don't have that question.
Legit?
Legit.
Jesus, that's an addiction.
Well, I had for a couple of years, I had this idea that I was going to get enough hoodies that I could wear one every day.
That'd be awesome. Why didn't you do that?
No, you know what? In this day and age, that is a sound plan. I like that idea.
Why didn't you do that? You only need less than 200 more. How many did you say you had? 115?
Yeah, so I need 250 more.
Yeah, chop. Get on it.
I know. I'm aware. But I also ran out of I also decided to start curating my hoodie decisions. And that sort of put a damper on it. But yeah, how you guys doing?
Great. Like I said, I did a lot of spring cleaning. Feel really good about that. We went to the zoo today.
Nice.
It was awesome.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. We went and bought Subway and took it to the zoo.
Sweet.
Had a picnic at the zoo. It was awesome.
Did Riley look at any of the animals and go, Dada?
No, but she has started making those noises.
Okay.
All right. I mean, she started probably a month ago, but she's like mama, and dad, dad. But she doesn't know she's saying it. She's just learning the. She says
la, 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 la.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and every morning she wakes up and stares at us and just like, go. It's like, so what's that mean? I don't speak, baby.
Damn it, baby! What are you saying?
I remember when my buddy Martin had he and his wife had their son Aiden. There was one day I stayed over at his place, and For some reason, the baby monitor was where I was, not where he was, not where he and the wife were supposed to be. But
smart.
Like he was well into talking. Like I don't remember exactly how old he was at this point, but it was like he woke up and you just hear him on the monitor just saying words. It's like he was going through all the words he knew. And because Martin and I shared an affinity for soccer, like Aiden, like he would always end up his words with a goal. I thought that was funny. Kids are hilarious.
Yeah.
Kids, man. Kids.
Y'all play any games?
A couple.
Cool.
Did you play any games, Matt?
I did. One game. Only one. I've been sick all week. Partially because of being run down and partially because it's that time of year where allergies just tend to overpower the system. I've been playing Sekiro still. And I am now overnight I got to the final boss and I am dying to that motherfucker a lot. But yeah, this game I was telling Moose before we got started, I think if I were to review this game and to give it a score, I would give it a 10. I understand that a lot of that is my love of From Software games, specifically the Soul series and Bloodborne, but also I don't think I would have given any of those games a 10 except Demon Souls. Yeah, like I mean they all would have been like, high 9s, but I don't think they would have. I think Demon Souls would have been the 10 just because for when it came out, it was so different. But Sekiro is vastly different than those games. And my favorite thing about it specifically is not this fight, but what this fight represents. And this fight represents sort of the culmination of everything you've done up to this point. And I think stepping away from it being a single character narrative, a nice arc and whatnot, and I think the side characters are really good too. But being as different as it is compared to most of From Software's recent output, like it is just different enough to be eye-opening in a very good way. And this game is, I'm really in love with this game, and I for some reason I don't want to play anything else anymore. I mean, I think at some point in the past week I probably helped Chris with Division 2 a little bit more, just because he's working on the platinum as well. As far as I know, he still has one trophy left, and I'm probably going to help him with that. Hopefully tomorrow. But all I want to do is fight motherfuckers with a sword. And I think that more so than any game I know of, I think this game captures the back and forth of sword combat really well, because you can come in and you can come in super aggressive, but you still have to defend. You can't just walk in and kill stuff. Like any of the enemies can take you down. You're never like too overpowered for any of the areas. Sure, there are enemies that you can walk up and basically blow through, but you still have to do that. It's not like in any of the Dark Souls games where after you've leveled up a bunch, you just walk through and let things hit you and you barely take damage. Yeah, this game is great, and I'm not going to talk too much about it, just because I'll probably be talking about it a little bit every show from here on out, which is going to get very boring for all of you. But hey, at least someone will be mentioning another game as much as Moose mentions Bloodborne. Am I right?
That's right.
Yeah.
You probably have like 2 years to catch up, and that's if Moose doesn't bring up Bloodborne.
Well, but see, you also caught me. We started this at the point where I was like pretty comfortable with my Souls stuff, so I didn't talk about it every time, except for that game of the year that Final Fantasy beat Dark Souls 3.
To be fair, that was Joey's fault.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a lot of people's fault, but that's none of my business.
I mean, that was a good game, though.
Sure. What are you guys playing? Who wants to go next?
I guess I can go. Moose looks a little tired. Moose looks like he had a busy day.
Yeah, he's exhausted.
Look at his head. He's like, yeah. I played some Apex Legends this weekend.
Cool.
With Jesse, and we almost won. Twice we almost won.
Nice.
Man. Dude, I can't win. I can't win at any of these Battle Royale games. Just can't win.
That's that and Fortnite are the only ones I've won at.
Well, I mean, I haven't. It's 2 more games that I've won at, so. Yeah. So we played.
I mean, to be fair, I think you're probably better at shooters than I am because I was a non-event. the match of Apex I won because it was basically the 2 guys said, "You want to win? We'll get you a win." I'm like, "All right," and then we found some people that were actually like pretty okay with shooters. They're like, "Hey, weakling, go in there and distract him." So I did. I Leroyed myself and let them down me, and then the other 2 guys killed them, and that's how we won. They let me get the final shot on the final guy. That was like the 1 kill I got that entire game. Well, you'll get it because you're better at these. You're better at shooters than I am, I think.
Well, I mean, that's questionable, but sure. I play as Lifeline, so I'm more of like the healer type and whatever, but we almost won, and that was exciting because like we were like in like the smallest circle ever, and we were just kind of like jumping around and hiding and dodging, and then it's just like, no, you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesse was almost dead, and I died, and he's like, oh crap, and I'm like, Jesse, you're dead. And then we went back to the title screen and started over. So that's how it went. It's a good time though.
Play anything else?
Played a lot of Tetris, and just kind of doing baby stuff mostly. But played Apex. Jesse and I finished our squad goals of Gears this week, so that was a good time. What else did I play? We played something else too, but now I forget. So Halo, I think. Played some Halo this weekend.
Cool.
Yeah, Halo's a good time. So that's kind of it, though. Nothing really to like elaborate on.
Mm-hmm. I know Moose played some new stuff.
Oh boy, what did you play, Moose? What's the new thing? What's the new hotness in your Sega Genesis this week? I don't know.
Played some of the Neo 2 alpha.
Ooh.
Entertaining. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Was playing with hatchets, which is pretty entertaining.
Yeah, when I saw that picture, I'm like, is that Neo?
like hatchets, like axes, or is this like somebody's like screen name?
But like they have hatchets now. Like they did the dual swords. Like you have the dual short swords, and so now you have dual hatchets, they're actually pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And then they allow you to do a little bit of character customization, but not too much. Like a lot of the stuff's like locked. Okay. So it's just like you get like presets, but you can go in and like see what you can change and whatnot. And it looks like it's going to be pretty cool being able to customize your own character.
So it won't be focused on one character like the first game was?
No, it's not focused on one character like the original. So, and then you could do male or female, which is cool. And then, so it was really weird because I know one of my complaints, and probably know a bunch of other people's complaints, like especially Saison in the Father of the Grind group, is like the elixirs the drop rate is like trash. So it's not like Bloodborne where you could be like, I'll go through this section like 2-3 times, get enough blood vials, and then go on to a boss or something.
Yeah.
Or they're not even like the Estises in the Soul series. So like you can't like find something to increase the amount that they heal you to get better healing. These are just like random drops, and like you can get gear that increases the drop rate and whatnot. But it was weird because it seems like it still works like the first game, but every time I'd go back, like when I would die because I was trying something stupid, because I was fighting all the revenants as many as I could, right. And every time I'd go back to the shrine, it seemed like it refilled mine like to the max amount every single time. So I don't know if they're doing that for the alpha or if it's, I don't know, but they added something that's pretty cool. And I didn't try anything, but like you can summon people, and then it seems like you can summon blue revenants. So like there will be red like burials around with the sword in the ground and stuff, and then there's blue ones. And if you have the cups that you needed from the first game to summon somebody, you could just walk up to it and summon them. And I am guessing that they will last as long as till they die. So it's just like running around with like an NPC helper from like Dark Souls or Bloodborne. So
okay,
that's pretty interesting.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's not like it wasn't like I didn't see as many as the red ones, like the ones to fight, like kind of PvP, but you're not really playing somebody else. You're just playing their like an AI of their character.
You're playing their Samurai avatar.
Yeah, but it was like I saw like 2 or 3 as I was moving through a level, so it wasn't as many, but it wasn't like here he's hidden over in a corner somewhere, you know what I mean? Or like you have to do this in Dark Souls to get this person.
It's not like hey you have to go around this building and summon the witch.
yeah, exactly. Like they're pretty much out in the world just hanging out, you know. And then I'm sure like you can summon somebody the traditional way at the shrine. Like put your password in and add, and somebody can come specifically to your level.
Well, I bet you the difference is like the blue revenants are friendly ghosts.
Yeah, and
then if you needed like the Choco cups,
yeah,
or the shrine or whatever.
Well, the Choco cups you still need for the blue ones because it'll say like summon, and then it'll tell you the requirement. It'll be like 0 out of 2 cups. And
okay.
But you pick them up pretty randomly through the world, and then like you could be like, yeah, I'll summon you, and we'll run around and have fun. And I just haven't done that yet. I think it goes on till June something. Like it's like I think it's a week, so I haven't had time to sit down and mess around with the like that portion of it. I want to try that, but seems good. Seems more Neo, so that's good. I was kind of hoping that they would like streamline the loot system, you know, because it's still like, oh, what is better on here? You know what I mean? Like they don't make it blatantly obvious.
No, they do not.
Like to crunch the numbers to figure out how your gear is working for you, and so that's just one problem I have with the game. But so playing that because that dropped I think Thursday or Friday. I think it was Friday, actually. It might have dropped. But anyways, so been playing that. I played some Salt and Sanctuary, both on Switch, because I got the special edition, and then also on PS4. I've been bouncing back and forth. And then,
such a good goddamn game. So
it is good. I'm enjoying more of it. I want to go for the platinum. I think the hardest trophy is going to be the boss at the beginning. You have to like beat, and so I'm just gonna have to watch a couple of videos and just practice. I think that's going to be. I was telling Jason because we were talking about it, and I was like, I think that's going to be the last trophy I get because I don't want to try and get that trophy, and then the game just wears me down so much to the point where I don't like fuck this. I don't want to play this game anymore after this trophy. You know what I mean? So like I want to get the rest of them and then come back to it, and then that'd be the last one.
I actually practiced it a bunch on Switch.
Uh-huh.
I never beat it, but I got about 3/4 of the way. Like I got a pretty good distance, and then I'm just like, you know what? I'm kind of beating a dead horse here. I'm just going to move on. And I mean, it was also because like I don't need this for a trophy on Switch.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I'll do the work on PS4 if I'm gonna.
Yeah, like when you're ready to just sit down and do it, just do.
Yeah, and then
be ready to spend some time. But yeah, it's
more Division 2. So I've been trying to get better gear. I finally opened up the stronghold to get out of World Tier 4 into World Tier 5, but I'm waiting for Jeff.
Okay.
I told him I wasn't gonna like move into the next tier without him, but like I'm doing a better job of embracing the demolitionist. Like I like the demolitionist, but like I like LMGs. I think I've said it before. I like a lot of the variety of guns that Division 2 has, and I don't feel like anyone's like, oh, this is a stupid gun to have. You know what I mean? Like I'm not good with the sniper rifle, so I don't use those. I just focus on the LMG, and then also the demolition class, because the demolition class you can spec in the tree to get plus 15% damage to your LMG, and then there's also a talent where you get, I think, up to that same amount for your submachine gun.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been looking for submachine guns. I've been looking for a nice MP5. I've only run across like a couple submachine guns, and they're all right, like a Vector or almost like a Tech 9, maybe a 9mm. And I'm just like, I don't really like those because of the accuracy and whatnot. Like an MP5 is going to have better accuracy. So I'm just kind of using them now just to get reacclimated to the submachine gun and how it works. But so I've been enjoying that. And then last night it took me an hour, but I didn't know if you knew this, Matt, but like you can, when you're in World Tier 4, as you're working on like control points, like if you do like the propaganda, if you do the hostages, if you do the supply drops, or if you disrupt like the supply routes, or even the guys that are going to attack other control points, like you increase the awareness and the alertness at certain control points. So I was trying to do a control point of level 4 last night.
Not fun.
No, and I got to I would get to the point where the boss guy would come, and then one of those stupid runners that the kamikaze guys would just run up and blow up out of nowhere. Like they're like telling you, okay, the enemy is coming from this section. All of a sudden, he's behind me and blowing me up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I did. So I finally did a call for help, got a guy in there to help me, and we were able to like take it down. And the amount of loot that you get when it's a level 4 is freaking insane. So it's insane. It's extremely smart to run. I don't think you could do it at tier 1, 2, and 3 because like I helped Jurgen today, and I did not like we were in his world, and when you pulled up the map, there were no like little plus numbers. So like they'll give plus numbers next, like like the like a territory, like a hostile territory is like +1, or like propaganda is like +1, and there's certain things that like a +2. I've never seen a +3 to the alertness, but
I think it's only in the red sections of the map.
That would make sense because I don't think he has.
That's where all the Black Tusk stuff usually is.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense, but
I think I could be wrong. It's been long.
No,
I'm far enough removed from that like I don't remember.
I'm like in the areas that I have, it's not like I don't have a lot of red areas. Like look like where the areas of the town are red. You know what I mean? Like it's taken over by Black Tusk. So and I still had that. So I just think it's because he's not in tier 4 yet.
That could be too.
Anyway, so I've been playing that, having a good time with that. Loving LMGs. I gotta get better with the rocket launcher, but they don't give me enough ammo to like really get good with it. You know what I mean? So
the demolitionist one.
Yeah. not the rocket launcher, but the grenade launcher.
I always, with every perk that I did, the thing I spec'd first was to increase the drop rate for special ammo.
Yeah, I have that. Okay. I spec that first too, and so it does drop pretty frequently.
You just have to I think there's there's something you can do that it increases it. Like I think with sharpshooters, if you get more headshot kills, ammo drops more often. Mm-hmm. And then I think with demolitionists, if you get more explosion kills. So like go into a side mission, or if you see like red barrels near enemies, shoot them instead of the enemies and kill them that way.
Yeah.
I think, and I could be 100% wrong. I apologize if I am. Jesse Douglas is in the chat. He has a couple of things to say. First off, I think he's correcting Corey because apparently you guys played Blackout as well, and you didn't mention that. Way to hold out on us.
I mentioned Corey. It last weekend.
Oh, okay. And then he also says, I like that all gun types feel useful in Division 2, where Division 1 didn't use shotguns or LMGs because they didn't have them balanced enough to feel like they did anything.
Jesse!
What's up, Jesse?
Jesse!
Yeah,
kind of excited.
I can agree with that. They're more balanced. Like I personally didn't have a problem with the LMGs in the first one. In fact, that's what I think I finished the game with.
I mean, I used that more because the clips were huge.
Well, yeah.
So, and because I'm a bad shot, I need a bigger clip.
I feel like Division 2, the accuracy is a lot better.
It is.
So I thoroughly enjoyed that. Specifically the LMGs, the accuracy is better. So, and like you said, the clip sizes, like I had one that had like 120 bullets, mm-hmm. and it wasn't like I didn't increase the clip size at all, but I was like, that is awesome. I'm going to be so sad when I have to get rid of this gun, because that was like world tier 2 or 3. So, but
yeah, I think there were a couple of people I rolled Division 2 with towards the end of my time, but towards the end of my time with it, and we did a ton of those control points at level 4 because they are insane. Mm-hmm. Like they literally just like, well, we're just pissing off control points to the point where they're level 4 and then going and killing them. I'm like, oh, I've not done that. They're like, well, you're in for a good time, and then it's just every enemy is yellow.
Yeah. And a lot of them are like, it takes you like a full clip just to get their armor down. And I'm talking LMG, which is like,
yeah, like there was
a significant amount of more damage than an assault rifle. And then also it's 100 rounds.
And then there was one where 2 tanks spawned.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God, it's just going to take forever. And I think because they were Black Tusks. So Black Tusk tanks are like way harder than Hyena tanks or True Sons tanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, like and I a lot of the equipment I'm still rolling with now, I got doing that. If you're willing to invest the time, it's definitely worth the reward, because I've helped a couple of people get through most of the world tiers and just the same rifle, LMG, and I think the only thing that I've changed is like armor stuff, just because I'm always getting. That's the one all of the equipment you get, that stuff changes still at a steady clip for me. Division 2 is so good, isn't it, Moose?
It is good. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a looter shooter. Mm-hmm. Until obviously Borderlands 3 comes out.
Right.
But,
it's looter.
I think, and Corey stated it before too, but I think it's like it's the best third-person cover shooter.
Yeah.
Although I was having the issue when I was trying to do the level 4 control point last night, where you're trying to roll, and if you're too close to something,
you snap into it.
Snap into cover, and then
you Assassin's Creed in the cover.
Shooting at you, and you're like, I'm trying to roll back, and you're just like, all right, so like getting like moving around that way, like in a situation like that, is really difficult. So it's almost. I wonder if you could probably. I haven't even checked it out. If you could work on the controls, like to see if there's a way to make it like only snap if it's in front of you or whatever. You know what I mean? Like to figure out a way to make your. Because I know like you can change it to where like you have to hit X to get out of cover. Whereas in like I have it set so like if I'm in cover and I pull back, I'll exit cover. You know what I mean? And then also going around corners, like you can change the speed at what you move around a corner. I go the fastest possible because I'm like when those guys with the Gatling guns, the tanks are coming around at you, and it's like move. You know what I mean? Like you're like I gotta kill you.
You don't have time to tip through the tulips.
I don't have time for you to be like check twice before you go around that corner.
Look both ways.
Just go around the corner. But yeah, so but that was one of my only complaints with the cover system. But other than that, it's awesome. Like it's good.
Anything else?
Nah, that's been about it. Those are the games I've been playing.
Cool. Well, let's get to some user questions, shall we? Or do we have anything else we want to talk about before we start
that?
No. I like the user questions, whatever, listener questions, reader questions.
Reader.
I don't know.
Viewer.
The people who decide to take time to listen to our dumb show.
The nice people who take time to talk to our dumbasses. I will say this. There's been a lot going around about a new From Software thing for E3. I know Moose sent video from Vati to Phillips and I about it. Do you have any thoughts, Moose, on this?
I think it would be cool.
Uh-huh.
I think, in my personal opinion, I think it sucks for people who are reading the books.
Yep.
Motherfucker needs to finish his books.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not going to... I mean, if it's a self-contained story where he wrote it, worked with them, it's got a beginning, middle, end, I mean, if it's in a series, I mean, that's cool too, but kind of like the Dark Souls series, you know what I mean? Where like, here is the world, here's what we're building, have fun with it. Mm-hmm. But like, if it's something where he's going to have to like write things, more stuff on top of trying to finish the books, like that's stupid. Like, I don't think I'm going to want that, but hopefully it's just a self-contained story and you can go out and have fun with it,
And then, Corey, I don't know if you know what we're talking about, but apparently From Software is going to have a title at E3 this year.
That George R.R. Martin.
They collaborated with George R.R. Martin. Now, here's my thoughts on it. And, good old
Martin.
Here's like...
I hope this is a From Software title that takes place on a train.
That'd be great.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
And the whole game is just like one
maybe since it's focused focused on horseback riding, maybe it's a wagon train. Right? Yeah. Huh? No, I look. There are a couple of things that I took into account hearing all this. Like I first heard it from a guy or from several people on Twitter talking about this. I think Eric Pope I think he works at Ubisoft now, but he used to work at Harmonix. He talked about it, and then there was another guy who talked about it, and then it just sort of spiraled from there. And then I saw this video from Vati saying that he's known about it for a couple of years because of his sources. All of that is well and good. As far as Game of Thrones goes and the implications here for George R.R. Martin, I want to drop a little bomb here. My guess is Game of Thrones ain't getting finished.
Yeah,
I feel
he's not getting any younger.
I mean, Tom
Clancy books are still coming out, and he's been dead for what, almost 7, 8, 10
they said they won't be finished.
Yeah, like he's gone on record saying these aren't getting finished. This isn't going to be a Wheel of Time thing where someone comes in after I'm dead. Like,
yeah, he's like, if
I die, it's done.
It's done. Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, like what people want to think about season 8, and I know Rough Dog, Moose, and I kind of voiced some things last episode. I think that was sort of his attempt at finishing the books. Now, I know he bowed out from the series a couple of seasons ago, and I feel like his bowing out sort of times with the series taking a turn downward. But if Game of Thrones doesn't get finished, guess what? Life's still going to go on, and it's probably better that it doesn't get finished because that way people can still talk about it. That's how it will stay alive. And what we know here's what we know about Great Room, which is this supposed game that's going to be shown at E3. We know very little. All we know is rumor and speculation. George R.R. Martin and From Software's fantasy storytelling, they traffic very differently. George R.R. Martin is very detailed, very thorough, very establishing of like worlds and contexts and characters. From Software is very vague, obscured. You have to go looking for the story. And what I love about Sekiro is the fact that it's a point A to point B narrative that's still very vague and very item description-y and still brings all of that puzzle piece nature of their storytelling. And I kind of think that I'm interested to see how these two styles can come together. I also think that they're different enough that the potential is pretty. It could be a very mediocre thing if it's rushed. So, and I will let the news come and see what happens rather than just say, "Oh my God, Game of Thrones needs to be finished." Oh my God, From Software and Game of Thrones together in one thing. Whatever. I think it's just another reason to be excited, which is cool. And hopefully we see it, and hopefully it looks worth our time.
I agree. Yeah. I don't think Miyazaki's going to do something that's not going to be worth our time.
I don't think so either, but I'd also like to know what team is working on it at From Software, because From Software is a multi-team studio now, as far as I know.
I think there's, two?
I think there are two, because I know a different team. I mean, this, for all we know, this could be the Dark Souls 2 team. And
that's true.
Working on whatever
team that did Ace Combat. So,
all right, I know this is
Ace Combat's Capcom though.
No,
Ace Combat's not From Software.
I'm thinking something else.
Are you thinking of Armored Core?
Yeah, which they should be doing.
Which that would be cool. But Corey, you were about to say something.
Yeah, the huge Dark Souls player that I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do people not like Dark Souls 2? Like, I mean, not like they don't like it, but why do they think that's like the runt of the?
Just Miyazaki didn't direct it.
Is that literally the only reason?
No, it's drastically different than Dark Souls. Like it is a. Okay, so Dark Souls is very much an extension of Demon Souls. Dark Souls 2 is kind of a look back at Demon Souls in a weird way.
But isn't that why don't people like Demon Souls? A lot of people like Demon Souls the best.
A lot do, but I think the predominant one is Dark Souls 1. I think people will say Dark Souls 1 is the best. At least more people say that. Or probably more people now say Bloodborne. But Dark Souls 2 is... I don't think Dark Souls 2 is bad. It's definitely the weakest of the series, and that's because all of the boss fights are very similar. I think the NPCs aren't really done all that well. And the combat feels the clunkiest of the series. And I think that it is way too long for what it does. But that said, Dark Souls 2 specifically does some interesting things. Like it messes with health bars in a way that is different than 1 or 3. It messes with spell casting in a way that's different than 1 or 3. I mean, at least in 2, you could be a straight caster. In 1, you cannot, unless you've gone through New Game Plus like 2 or 3 times. But it's honestly, I think people bag on it because it's just the one that's really different.
Okay. I just had always kind of wondered why, and I don't know. Like I watched some gameplay of it. I mean, it looks a little bit like the way the character moves looks different and everything. But I just thought like maybe they were just trying something different. I didn't really know what the reason was. I was just curious.
I mean, a lot of it is like a lot of when you get into that conversation on a lot of things, it tends to just be zeitgeist type stuff rather than actual dissertation. Because some people there are probably people out there in the Souls community that bag on Dark Souls 2 just because it wasn't more Dark Souls 1. But if you want to really get into the, like, critiquing it, Dark Souls 2 is nowhere close to a bad game. Like it's just not. It's just different than 1. It's different than 3.
Did that whatever the edition came out, the Scholar of the First Sin edition, did that change anything? Did that like?
Oh yeah, it changes the game completely. It is a different. I mean, now does it? What is changing the game mean? It actually it messes with enemy placement. It messes with. I think there are different invasions that happen. There are different NPCs you can summon. It doesn't change like the structure of the world because the world is still, you start in Majula and you go a direction. There are more of I forget what the names of the knights are, but there are these white knights that are just sort of sitting everywhere and they don't really aggress until you piss them off. And they're mean once you piss them off. I mean, they're a nice equivalent to the black and silver knights from Dark Souls 1. But for the most part, they're just sitting there until the player decides they are strong enough to fight them. And then usually the player learns a lesson. Or at least that's how it goes when I do it. But the Scholar of the First Sin, it messed with it in a lot of good ways. In fact, it messed with it in a way like I kind of hope they come back to the series in like a few years and do that to all of them because that would be kind of cool. But I feel like
Mastered Celebration.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's like Prepare to Cry trilogy or something like that, where a lot of the enemy placements are different. A lot of the, like in Scholar of the First Sin, I know there are a couple of world triggers that are different, but they don't really change the overall experience. But no, Dark Souls 2 is it's the odd one out of the Dark Souls series, but it's not bad.
Okay. I was just always curious about that. It was kind of like, it kind of almost reminds me, and I know it's not exactly the same, but it kind of reminded me of the Batman Arkham Origins situation where like it is a separate team, but it's still like Batman, Yeah.
No,
okay.
it's if you were ever interested in Dark Souls 2, it's still worth your time. Okay, so now let's get into these listener, user, viewer questions, shall we?
If you have any suggestions on what to call you guys, please write in to NGR Radio Podcast.
How about call us people, please? No.
Nerds.
Yeah, we'll call it people questions. Questions from people. Leading off episode 147. And if you want to participate here, email us at ngrradiopodcast@gmail.com. Sam Hall says, what games do you want to see most from E3?
Oh, geez.
Well, let me pull out my list of everything I know that is going to be at E3. Yeah, I have a blank sheet of paper. I don't know what's going to be.
Link's Awakening.
I just want to see new stuff. I want to see what I don't know.
That'll be nice.
Like,
I want to.
You think we're going to get anything like super interesting though at the end of the life cycle?
I don't know. I mean,
like we'll see stuff that we already know about for sure. But like, do you think we'll see any like? You think PlayStation has another PS4 exclusive that we don't know about? That's like as big as God of War, The Last of Us, or anything?
No, I really don't.
I don't either.
I mean, if they do, that would be nice, but I don't think they do. I think they're kind of saving that for PS5 because the titles they have, what is it, 2 or 3 big ones left are what?
3. Last of Us,
Ghost of Tsushima, and
Death Stranding.
Yep.
Death Stranding, which.
But you forgot about Medieval.
Medieval's a remaster. I'm sorry.
It was a joke, dude. I was joking.
There's only one remake remaster that belongs at E3, and as much as I hate the series, I have to say it's Final Fantasy VII, just because that particular title has a bit of cachet in video game history. But like, if they have anything outside of those 3 that they're holding back, that's going to be PS5.
Well. I don't think so. Well, obviously they're not going to be there. They're not having a conference,
right?
So, I think they're just focusing on their Ghost and Last of Us 2, which they need to.
Mm-hmm.
Those teams need to get those games polished, get them finished, so that we can play them and kind of be the swan song for the PS4. But the things that I'm mostly looking forward to at E3 is like the indie games, like with release dates, like Children of Morta, which looks 8-bit game, where I think like you basically take over when you die, like your offspring or whatever take over and go through the world and stuff. So that looks really cool. It's got a really cool style to it. What is it? Eater, EYTR.
Yeah.
Kind of like Dark Souls, but it's like isometric. So, and it's a shield maiden. So, like, that looks really cool. I'd like to see a release date for that. Henceforth, Alicia, which is like an awesome throwback to 8-bit, 16-bit gaming, like Iconoclast was. Like, it's got that cool like art style going on, and I'd like to see a release date for that, because I thought that was coming out last year, but it didn't. So I wonder if they maybe pushed it out so that they could also release it on Switch as well, because the Switch is doing so well.
Right.
But those are the games that I'm most interested in, and then obviously like Corey said, Link's Awakening, like that would be awesome.
Yeah, I never played Link's Awakening. I would love to.
I never played it either, and so like, and I hope that it plays well and it's phenomenal, and that type of a remake may lead to them redoing Link to the Past in that style, because it looks really good, and it looks like a really good updated, like fresh, like really good coat of paint. It's not just like, okay, here it is at like 60 frames a second, you know, like here's an HD version. Like this actually looks like 100.
They had to remake that because it was a Game Boy game, right?
Yeah, it was like the only Zelda game I ever played until Ocarina.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be cool. I think by the time E3 rolls around, that's the same week Mario Maker 2 drops. But like, I don't.
It's the week before, actually. I feel like it's
like the 11th or the 12th.
I feel like it's
the 26th, 28th,
so
I think.
Weeks before. E3 is 2 weeks before Mario Maker, at least.
Okay.
It's let's see.
Which is fine.
It'd be nice to hear more about Bayonetta 3.
Word. Metroid. Do we want to hear more Metroid?
I don't need to see Metroid until it's like, I want to see Metroid the year it's coming out. Like, I want them to be like, hey, it's coming out this fall.
Okay.
You know, like I don't care how long it takes. I just want them to. I mean, a trilogy would be fine.
Word.
Yeah, like give us the remastered trilogy. Like that's my thing too. Like with a lot of the games, it's like I don't want to see something until like they showed Final Fantasy VII at the State of Play.
Mm-hmm.
So now and then they said they're going to have more, next month. I'm kind of hoping, hey, give us a release window for the first episode.
Yep,
that's cool. Hey, it's coming out this fall. Awesome. Mm-hmm. That is actually awesome, and that'll be cool. Huh?
I think with that they need a release date for the first episode and a timetable on all of it.
Yes, and I also stated that in our
I think you did on
State of Play. I was like, I want it to be like a timetable where like, okay, here's the release date, and then it's like every 6 months or every year. It's I don't want to go in like past like a year or two, right? Between episodes, but I'd like to see like a timetable, like a good one, like instead of just like Telltale where it's like it'll come out when it comes out. Yeah, like give us a timetable because that forces them to actually work to put the product out instead of just like, oh well, we want to change this, we want to change that, we want to change. You know what I mean? Because then you're just in a perpetual state of like trying to make remaster your remaster.
Because if this turns into what Kentucky Route Zero has for Annapurna is its publisher, but for the developer of Kentucky Route Zero, like they're on, I think, volume 5 of that episodic series, and it's been coming out since 2013.
Yeah.
So if this turns into that, the Final Fantasy fan base might get a little angry. Now, the difference is Kentucky Route Zero, every time, like that is one game I cannot wait to finish because that's when it'll come out on consoles. And that game, every volume that comes out sounds goddamn interesting, and I can't wait to actually play it. But that is also like they're making that. Final Fantasy VII was made, so there's more onus on them to get it done, because especially if that first episode is good, people are gonna want that fast. If that first episode sucks, like
and then of course if the rumors are true from Software,
I mean
that would be interesting to see. I hear it's supposed to be at the Microsoft conference, which this year will probably be more of Microsoft showing what I'll be playing on the PS4.
Yep.
That'll be nice, like it was last year. But hopefully, I'm not like as big a fan as I was of Halo and Gears, but it would be cool if we saw those and it was like something that like blew my mind and I was like, man, I want to jump back into the series. That would be cool. That would be really cool to see. Like, I'm glad people out there still enjoy the games, but I've lost interest like a while ago. So it would be cool to see them like come back with, was it Halo Infinite? So the next one supposedly. So that would be cool. And then Gears 5 is supposed to be launching this year. So that would be interesting to see what they have up their sleeve as far as that goes. And then more of, is it Outer Worlds?
Yeah, that's the Obsidian.
More of that would be cool because I think they kind of showed a mix of gameplay. I'd like to see a gameplay trailer of that if it's coming upon being close to being released. Like that would be cool.
Agreed.
But anyway,
now is that going to be on? That's their last non-Microsoft game, correct?
Yeah.
Obsidian. Yeah,
I think it's being published by the private division, which is 2K's kind of.
Yeah, so
Small
that'll be multi-platform, which is cool.
yeah.
I mean, I love Obsidian. I think they do good stuff. And based on, I mean, like that was a way for Microsoft to have me looking at their console again.
Well,
because if they're only going to be putting out stuff on Microsoft, you know.
Well, here's the thing about that. Like, I was thinking about it the other day. Like, so because of that, like if that series like takes off, you know, and then all of a sudden like the sequels they just put on Microsoft on their consoles, they're going to kind of like alienate the fans that they get on the PS4, and it's almost kind of like a. Do you think Microsoft? I know this is kind of going kind of tangent, but it's relative. Like, do you think Microsoft would go the Minecraft route and be like, well, even though we own that company, we'll publish it on both consoles, you know, just because we'll get money in both places?
I think they're exploring that idea. You know, I mean, they're putting Halo on Steam when they have a perfectly good, you know, Microsoft store. You know,
I don't know if you call it perfectly good, but it's a capable.
Well, it's
selling it.
They have a store.
Yeah,
that's what you know what I mean. Like, I think.
I'm sorry, Corey. I know. I hear Philip shit on it all the time, and I'm like,
no, it's pretty bad. The Microsoft store on PC is pretty bad.
But you're right. It is capable, and it's a place that they can put Halo.
Yeah. So I mean, it looks like I think with like their smaller style games, like Gears and Halo will never be on PlayStation, I don't think. But like something like the Outer Worlds, like if they're putting this much money into it, they might explore the possibility of putting a sequel or whatever Ninja Theory's next game is, or you know what I mean? Like some of these smaller games. I mean, Cuphead's on Switch. The rumor is Ori and Battletoads are going to come to Switch. You know, there's been rumors floating around that Rare Replay Deluxe might be coming to Switch too. So I mean, like, there's possibility.
That'd be a way for me to buy them. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Does Nintendo have a direct lined up for E3?
It's that Tuesday.
Okay. So they got something where we'll be able to see.
Yeah, that'll be the last thing usually.
Mm-hmm. And then there's 8 hours of live stream afterwards. So
do we think we'll hear anything about the handshake image?
No.
The what?
I think
Sony
that was
and Microsoft handshake.
No, I think that was more of a Sony, Microsoft than PlayStation, Xbox thing.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think everybody was like, I don't know. I feel like deals like that kind of happen all the time. Look, Samsung sells phones, but Apple also uses Samsung technology in their touchscreen. So I mean, I'm just I'm throwing it out there that
Samsung makes the iPhone screens.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, yep. But what about Dying Light 2? I don't think we saw like gameplay. I know that was.
They said they're bringing it. I know they're bringing it. So
I think it's about time for that to release, isn't it? That's going to release this year, right?
They were saying this year. I thought last year they said that like next year time. So that could be cool. That would be something interesting to see at E3. I'm just like, God, got so much to play, but so it's kind of just like I'm excited. I'm more excited about seeing the stuff I haven't seen or heard about. Yeah, the stuff I know about, because like you almost don't want to ruin it for when you play it. You know what I mean? Like you want to just go in completely dark and be like, "Hey, I'm playing this game like, and I've never seen. You know, I don't know very much about it." Like that's the kind of enjoyment that I'm looking forward to. So, I know Blasphemous, which is like a side-scrolling game, 2D, like looks like it lives in the Dark Souls world. Yeah, and hopefully that comes out this year. And if it doesn't, then it's next year. So,
I think from Sony, I think I'd like for them to come out on whatever they do and say that they've cracked the code on PS3 backwards compatibility, and a lot of that is on PS5. I would like that, me personally. I would like that.
I think that
I don't think it'll happen. I don't expect it, but I would like it.
I think that would be cool, but I mean, They sunk so much damn money into that PS Now. So like that's the problem. You pretty much almost eliminate the need for PlayStation Now, if you do something like that. Especially with PlayStation 3.
But I don't know. I would like it. I don't think it'll happen though.
We can move along.
Anything else? E3?
No.
Bring us games and we will devour.
Bring us games, we will play. It's like
if you bring them, we will play.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Thank you, Sam, for your question. Next, the man, the myth, the legend, Deshaun Malone, has a multi-parter for us.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Deshaun.
Thanks for making this work. I'm gonna do this in a different order than what he has. So just bear with me. What is your favorite vacation memory?
Oh boy, man, I don't even know. I guess I don't know.
I have a couple where it wasn't me on vacation; it was people on vacation to see me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, thanks. I'm glad I could make your list, Matt. Thanks.
You're on there. Yeah, you're on there. You're on there. Okay, I'll just go since you guys are being silent.
That's what we were waiting for.
Meeting Corey and watching him devour a cheesesteak was awesome. The first time I met Moose was really good because we spent a day wandering around Philly. And I love the fact that his wife said, "No, you go up to his apartment. If he kills you, I'm leaving."
Yeah, she's like, I don't know him. I was like, okay.
He brought me some Wicked Weed beer. I put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
And then we wandered around Philly, and then he got to eat crow when he realized that whiz and onions was good on a cheesesteak. And then
you didn't think whiz and onions would be good on a cheesesteak?
And then 2 days later, we basically wandered around his neck of the woods.
Bethlehem. Yeah.
We went to Two Rivers Brewing, and they gave me a tin full of bacon and syrup.
I think that was the special on Wednesday.
Yeah.
You get a free free basket of bacon.
Yep. Meeting Phillips when he came here with Faye. That was good. Watching him turn on the Canadian accent to really mess with the waiter at Fado. Perfect. One of my favorite moments was when Paul Linga came to hang out with me in Philly. This is 3 or 4 years ago now, and there was a moment he and I were making food, or he was making food. Food was being made in my apartment, a rarity indeed. But something fell and knocked over a glass, broke a glass on my carpet. There was nothing in it, just broke a glass. But both of us were laughing like we had just done a lot of weed. And I'm like, why are we laughing like we're stoners? And then Paul goes, you know what's funny? If I were high, that wouldn't have happened. And that was really fun. Oh, when I went to Jersey and met Rob Rinaldi, that was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
That man is a goddamn gentleman. He just recently celebrated a birthday.
Yes, he did.
Happy birthday, Rob Rinaldi.
Old Man River.
Now, if we're going to talk actually me going on vacation, one of my trips with my ex to Romania, I actually got to meet one of my favorite soccer players at the time. It's pretty interesting. Also, I got to see one of my all-time favorite soccer players' houses, which was cool. That both of those tied into the same trip. That was really cool. I also remember going to Disney World for the first time in Florida was really cool. But what stands out from that was going on the Tower of Terror in MGM Studios, because that's one of my favorite rides ever.
Well, rip next year, by the way.
It sucks. It sucks.
It's I think they're turning into the Guardians of the Galaxy escape thing.
Lame, but okay.
I think it's just because who owns Twilight Zone? CBS?
I think so.
Yeah, so like they're getting rid of all that stuff now because they have so much that they can do now. So they don't want to pay the licensing fees. So like, because they just closed the Great Movie Ride too, which was like, you know, you just kind of ride through classic movies or whatever, and they made it like a history of Mickey Mouse or whatever. And just because they didn't want to pay the Turner Classic Movies licensing fees. So, although like half of it was like Fox and like Lucas stuff anyways, so I don't know, but you know, a lot of my favorite vacation memories take place at Disney too. So
nice.
I'm actually,
my sister met Ryder Strong right before we went on the.
I met Ryder Strong on my 10th birthday. We were at Planet Hollywood, and he was at the next table, and he wished me a happy birthday.
That's awesome.
It was awesome, and I was a really big Boy Meets World fan.
Boy Meets World was a great show. It really was.
I know. Just saying, that was like the highlight of my life times 10.
King Kong Bundy came to my 7th birthday party.
What? Why?
What?
Yeah. A friend of mine who was invited to the party won a contest to meet King Kong Bundy, so we brought him.
Oh, nice.
King Kong Bundy watched me open the gift. He watched me open someone giving me the original Legend of Zelda. He watched, and I basically said, "No more presents. Go to play Nintendo."
Nice.
Wouldn't that be funny if King Kong Bundy was like, "I'll show you how to play Zelda," and he like beat it on the first try, just one sitting, beat Zelda.
Be great.
You ruined my birthday. I wanted to play Zelda. But
he was a gigantic man.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get the nickname King Kong by being a small person.
No, you don't. Anybody else have any vacation memories before we derail this too much?
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot. Like, it's just hard for me to pick. Like, I guess when, like, not the first trip, but the second trip we went to Disney, Sana and I went to Disney together, was pretty awesome. The first time is like, I mean, if you guys never been to Disney and you go down there for your first time, it's pretty overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know, especially now. So I don't think she enjoyed the trip as much because she was overwhelmed. Plus she got sick like halfway through, and it was not a good time. But I think the second trip we went was pretty awesome, you know, because she kind of knew everything at that point, and it was a good time. Disney's always a good time. I think, like, I know a lot of people like kind of make fun of me for this, but Disney's like my favorite place to go for vacation.
I know a lot of people that are adults that love Disney.
Yeah,
that Disney's like, it's got a lot of good touches to it for adults. Like it's pretty cool. You know, like I want to go back myself because I haven't been to Disney World since 2000s, like the very early 2000s.
Oh, geez. Well, you're in for a treat because it's all different now.
Yeah, it was like 1997 when I went. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. So
I mean, they've opened like, let's see, Star Wars Land, Toy Story Land, and Pandora all open since I went last. So
yeah, I think we're gonna try and go when my sister-in-law takes our niece and nephew. We're gonna try and tag along with them and go with them. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. We really want to take Riley, but she's like we have to wait a couple of years to take her because she's, you know, not even a year old yet. So like, my wife came up with this idea, and I didn't disagree with her. Like, since I've been with Sana, my dad and I used to hang out a lot, like do stuff together, like go see movies and stuff together and hang out and stuff. And like, she's like, why don't you go with your dad and make it just like a guys trip? because my dad loves it down there. Like my dad like almost refuses to go anywhere else on vacation. That's how much he loves it down there.
Wow.
And he like I think it would be really cool if like me and him went down and just had a trip together. So we're trying to
bro at Disney. Just bro it out.
I mean, kind of, yeah. Go around to Epcot, eating real crappy food. So, yeah, awesome.
Most any vacation memories from you?
I enjoyed my trip with Kelly out to Memphis. That was a lot of fun. We saw Alabama Shakes. Memphis is a fun trip.
A fun trip.
I like Tennessee. I liked when I went to Nashville, see the Black Keys. It's always a good trip. I haven't
seeing Sun Records in Memphis is a really good one.
Yeah, and then 3-Man Records in Nashville was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was
3-Man
awesome
Records is a cool place.
And coming back to Pennsylvania, like I feel like I haven't. Like when I came to see you like the first time, that was one of the first times I've been back up when it wasn't holiday season.
Right.
You know, like coming up for Christmas or Thanksgiving. Like I was coming up in the off season and hanging out. You know, like that's a lot of fun to go see like the old stomping grounds. And enjoy that. Niagara Falls, going to Canada when I was younger. That was a good trip. I like going on cruises, although nowadays, like, it seems you can't not get sick on a cruise.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know if I'd want to do that. But I thoroughly enjoyed the one cruise I went on. We were in Stingray City. Stingray City was really awesome. Going to see the Tortoise Rehabilitation Center.
Cool.
That was really cool. Like checking that out. Like some of the tortoises there were like so old and like just huge, like just big. Like they were awesome, and so that was a pretty cool vacation. So I like to do that again. Like get on a boat because like it's a pretty good bang for your buck when you're taking like a day in each place. Do you want to read what Jesse says in the chat? He's got some good.
Yeah,
got some good ones.
He has a real going. Mine was when I visited a friend in Cali and partied at Will Ferrell's stepsisters, his father's house, and I got to see pictures of Will Ferrell's family on the walls.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then he also says he's going to Disney this year with the kids for the first time, so I'm sure that will be at the top. Jamaica for our honeymoon was amazing too.
Oh, I bet you it was. I could imagine that.
Alan steps in. Disney's awesome.
Jesse, don't go to the Magic Kingdom the first day.
Dollywood for the win.
Why not the Magic Kingdom for the first day?
It's just like the generic Disney experience.
What are you, goddamn tourist?
Damn.
I mean, you should.
Cold, Jesse. That's cold, man. You know what, Jesse? You do what you damn well want to do with your kids.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what? Go to the Magic Kingdom.
Ruin it.
Be a generic tourist. I'm just kidding. No, Magic Kingdom's probably a good place to start, to be honest with you. It's just like when people go with me to Disney for the first time, not that that's happened in like,
since Sana.
Yeah. But like everybody always thinks like the Magic Kingdom is just like the Disney experience. And I always just feel like, no, we got to go here first. We're going to go to Hollywood Studios and ride Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster first.
Corey has his own machete order of going to Disney.
Yeah, I do. I mean, Magic Kingdom's great, but like, just want to like.
I mean, I personally liked Magic Kingdom, but like, I felt like MGM and Universal were where I had my most fun.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed wandering around the worlds of Disney when I went 22 years ago, but I still remember going on the Back to the Future ride. I still remember going on the Tower of Terror. I still remember everything about MGM and Universal.
See, I've only been to Universal once, and like I don't remember having a good time when I was there, but that was also like 12, No, longer than that, like 20 years ago. So
I remember my mom almost got sick on the Back to the Future ride. For some reason, I thought that was amazing.
Time travel is not for everybody.
It's not. Really fucks with the equilibrium. So Deshaun's the next part to Deshaun's question. I'm just going to move on if y'all don't mind. How many slices? Mind.
I'm just kidding.
How many slices of pizza have you consumed at one time? Jesus. When and could you do it now? Now I want to clarify just for the panel because I clearly can't ask Deshaun this. Is he talking like grabbing and eating at a time, or just like in one sitting?
I think probably in just one sitting.
I don't think.
I don't think I've ever tried to eat more than one piece of pizza.
I mean, I've sandwiched two together and done it, but I've not gone more than that.
Yeah, because you're an animal, but that's all right.
Right. Well, we've established this. I mean,
animal.
I could still do a full. I could still do a full pie.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most I've ever done. I think I've eaten like 2 large pizzas at once.
Yeah, I've cleared a pie and a half. I don't think I could do that.
I mean, I couldn't do it now. I don't think, especially now. But like,
see, and it also depends on like pizza. Like, how big is the pizza?
I mean, like,
what kind of pizza are you talking about? Because
I'm going by like generic Domino's large pizza.
Yeah, like a 16-inch pizza. I feel like
one.
Yeah, I mean, I could.
I've definitely eaten like a whole pizza before, like especially. Yeah.
I mean, I remember one of the first times. I think it was one of the few times Reba and I actually went to my apartment. She's like, "Well, I feel like pizza for dinner." I'm like, "Okay." I ordered 2 pizzas. She's like, "Why did you order 2 pizzas?" I'm like, "Oh, you'll see." And she watched me eat a full pizza.
My wife did that the first time we got pizza too.
And she's just sort of looking at me in awe. She's like, "You never eat this much when we go out to eat." I go, "Yeah, because
that's not pizza."
Right. and she's like, "Well, so I guess pizza's your favorite food." I go, "Actually, it's not. I just can't not eat it in mass quantity."
Yeah, we had a lot of work to do this past week, and so they brought pizza in on Friday. Mm-hmm. And it was like it was insane. Like the pizza slices were like this big. Like they were huge. It was like a 24-inch and like I put like 3 of those away on Friday.
Oh yeah.
And then like I ate a 4th one after I got home because I was like, I'm not going to the gym. I'm so like because like I rarely get that place's pizza, which it was like delicious, but I'm just like that a 24-inch pizza like that size. No, I could not put away. But like their smaller one, where it's like 16 inches, I could probably put away because I like New York style. So then like, I mean like Pizza Hut's fine, Domino's is fine.
Yeah,
John's trash, but like
Papa John's sucks.
I don't mind the thicker crust, but I also like the thinner stuff. So yeah, that's my favorite. If I could only eat one kind, it would be that kind. So.
I'm about the same. I just, like at work every so often, or at least when I used to have a chance to work day shift, like they would do pizza every so often. And if I was ever on that day, I would go to like my boss and just say, "Hey, when everybody's gone through and had pizza, just let me know. I'll clear some of that away from you." She's like, "What do you mean? You're going to take it home?" I go, "Yeah, that's it. I'm going to take it home."
I'm going to take it home in my belly.
and she's like, "All right, I'll let you know." Like, and then I would not take my lunch till later. And she's like, "I think everybody's had a round." I go, "Okay." And then I would text her and be like, "Pizza's gone." Yeah. She's like, "What do you mean it's gone?" This is not a math problem. It's gone. All that's left are boxes, and I'm not eating those. But yeah, and then
they somehow find a way to make boxes out of dough, and then you could eat the box after you eat the pizza. Nah.
That is our dark future. And then his final question is, what are your favorite hip hop albums of the 90s? Do you guys have any input here whatsoever?
Nope. Pass.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, I actually, Deshaun, I want you to take a look at this. I've dedicated my wall to you. These are all 90s hip-hop albums. I think the only one that could really be, I'll move over just so you can see the ones I got over here. I think the only one that could really be disputed in this selection is Massive Attack. Early on in Massive Attack's life, because this didn't come out here till 1990. It was released in 89 in the UK. But it was actually put forth as like the first great British hip hop album, and there's a lot of rapping on it. It just doesn't sound like anything else on here. Notable exceptions here, it was hard for me to not put this on there, but I felt like it was too easy if I put it on there. Wu-Tang's albums, but yeah, like anything here. Beastie Boys, Check Your Head, Ill Communication. Notorious B.I.G.'s first album, Nas, Illmatic, both Diggable Planets album, Pete Rock and CL Smooth, De La Soul is Dead, Balloon Mind State, Jazzmatazz, and anything by Gangstar in the 90s, Mobb Deep. Of course, we gotta talk about Tribe Called Quest. Queen Latifah's first album, still good, as is Farside's albums. But there are plenty of others. The 90s were a great era for hip hop, and they are still they're still massively influential today. I'm not going to talk too long because I will just bore my co-host to sleep. So that wraps up Deshaun's question. Final question of the night. Christian Staterman he says, found your show about 2 months ago and I'm loving it. How have you guys stayed in the game for so long?
They don't let me take a day off.
That's not true.
I'm just kidding.
It is true. He's here. He's here by force.
Yes. What you can't see is there's a gun where his camera is that's pointed directly at him. If he shuts it off before I turn the chat off, it fires.
It's true.
No. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's still fun. Like we've had a couple of bumps in our time here, but it's still fun. Just like I like
podcasting's fun. Hanging out with friends is fun.
I like talking with my friends. And yeah, like I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else other than these two chuckleheads in Captain Canada. So.
Yeah.
I think I scared him away.
That's probably true, but that's okay. I think honestly, I think Captain Canada had a lot of personal shit going on. I think he's prioritizing his stuff correctly.
That's probably smart.
And
to prioritize, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if his shoes on my feet, I'd probably be doing the same thing. Just because, you know, it's a tough time for him. And I know that he needs to find what solace he can, where he can, when he can grab it. He needs to grab it with both hands. I think he's doing the right thing. I love him. I miss him. I think we all do.
Mm-hmm.
And
take care of yourself first, bro.
Word. There's always a chair for him. His table.
A digital chair.
Yep. But I don't know. I feel like it's been relatively easy to keep doing this. It's never felt like a chore.
No.
Yeah. I mean, like, and Moose does it twice a week.
Because I'm out of my mind.
I mean,
I do it twice a week. Thanks, Matt.
I forgot.
Gina.
Sorry.
Gina?
I'm an asshole. I know.
Matt forgets about me. It's fine.
I don't forget about you, Corey. I forget about your other stuff.
Forgot about me like you forgot about Dre.
I never forgot about Dre, but I also know that like Dre's best stuff was with NWA. Sorry, hip hop fans. But yeah, no. I guess the easy answer is we've stayed here for long enough, not being shitty to each other. I feel like there have been times where we've come off as shitty to other people, and we've usually found a way to sort of say, "Hey, this is what it is." But I also think that, like, first and foremost, we're just not shitty to each other, so it's really easy to keep coming back.
That's true.
And I think largely, if there ever was a question, we could talk about it amongst ourselves and figure it out. So yeah.
Yeah.
We've stayed here by not being shitty.
Fact of life.
I think maybe there's probably some things that have come out of my mouth that have bordered on shitty.
Yeah.
But Lord knows I don't remember all of them right now.
Shame.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. Or maybe all those times I've talked shit on Final Fantasy or Metal Gear Solid, and I'm pretty sure that has probably turned some folks away.
No, that's fine. Who cares?
Yeah. Why do we keep coming back here? No,
because it's Monday night. We're like, anybody got any questions? Yeah, hold on. We're going to send them to you guys. I'm not busy. There we go. And we're here.
Microphones and mouse. That's actually another thing that makes it really easy to keep coming back. We always have questions from people.
What if I just started asking you all the questions?
I mean, I'm not sure you're not, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. But if you want to ask me questions, go right ahead. Ask me anything.
I asked you one today. It was a good one.
What was your question?
The Dark Souls 2 thing we talked about for like a half hour.
This guy.
Clearly. I mean, that was how long ago, and I've already forgotten. Can you tell it's my morning and the coffee has not kicked in yet?
It's almost bedtime.
Well, what do you say? Call it a show?
Yeah, why not? Sure.
Cool. Thank you to everybody for writing in. Thanks, Sam. Thanks to Sean. Thanks, Christian.
Our show doesn't have to be 3 hours every night.
Hope you all write in again sometime. We would love to answer any questions you might have. We like dialogue, I think. This has been episode 147 of Nerds Gone Rogue. My name is Matthew Keel. You can find me at infinite_rewind on every social media platform in the known universe. Anything I might do will be found at nerdsgonerogue.com or youtube.com/NGRradio.
Which I actually found out there's a way to change that, so I'm in the process of changing it to Nerds Gone Rogue.
Awesome.
There's a way to change it, and I'm trying to figure it out.
Cool.
Sorry, I just had to throw that out there. I meant to tell you that before we started, and then I forgot.
I appreciate it, but if that changes, I will be so happy. Moose, where can we find you?
You can find me on all social media platforms that I want to be on. That's Fed. SVHENN. Twitter.
Did you write this down? Are you reading it?
No. Twitter, Twitch.
He's got little screens in his sunglasses that just list everything for him.
Anyways, you can also
listen. Are those Google glasses? No.
Me, Jason, and Jeff discuss the PlayStation platform. Tuesday nights, we usually go live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can watch the video, which goes up Thursday mornings at 7, I believe. You can tweet us at NG_platinum. You can follow us on Instagram at NerdsGonePlatinum. And you can also email us questions, comments, and concerns to nerdsgoneplatinum@gmail.com. We got some giveaways coming up pretty soon. I think we're going to do one like a couple in a month or so.
Now I know he didn't write it down because he didn't write the phone number.
I don't, dude. Tell the phone number if you know it.
I don't off the top of my head. I keep meaning to save it just so I can tell you, but
I know, like I keep.
Does this mean we need a phone number?
Huh?
Does this mean we need a phone number?
No, I don't think it does.
Okay.
I mean,
It calls it.
I'm not opposed to it, but like, okay, listeners, viewers, people out there, if you want to interact with us, should we have a phone number that you can call and leave us messages? So, answer that, and then we'll consider it. Tweet at Nerds Gone Rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before Corey takes us home, this is your 201st official podcast, Moose. Can you believe that?
What are you talking about?
Well, you've done 100 episodes of Platinum.
Yeah, and 100 episodes here.
And this is your 101st on Nerds Gone Rogue. You've done 200 podcast episodes,
which is crazy and it's insane.
What I really like is the fact that you don't look like you've aged a bit through any of it.
No,
I'm kind of jealous.
I think he's actually gotten younger. It's good for his skin.
Yeah.
If you look closely, there are some gray hairs there, but I think that's because of my wife. But
if you look closely, I'm wearing a hat to cover up.
Yeah, I found my first gray hair like a few months ago, and I haven't seen one since.
Oh, that's good.
Matt's got gray hair, but he can't grow a beard.
Yeah, cannot.
Yeah,
whatever. Corey, take us home.
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at CoreyNHD713. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitch at CoreyNHD. I actually streamed this weekend a few games, so that was.
You did.
I did. Nice. It was a good time. I also forgot to open my chat up, so if you watched, thanks. I think Matt might have popped in, and I think Frank Clark popped in once.
I did.
And I think other people. I did get 2 more follows, so thanks for following me, guys. So you can also find me on our new combined effort show called the NX Show. Yes. If you're subscribed to Nintendo Power Block, you are already subscribed, so congratulations. But yeah, you can download that on Tuesdays in place of Nintendo Power Block. And our first episode, well, by the time you hear this all edited and stuff, will be up already, so you can go check that out. And you can also watch us live on Twitch. We're still figuring some stuff out, but we're going to be there. So on Saturdays.
Cool.
During the day. Right in the smack dab middle of the day.
Sweet.
It's a good time. So find us there. You can also find all of our content on nerdsgonerogue.com. And I think I got everything. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Episode 150 is coming up. Pretty excited for that. Probably nothing special. We'll just show up and talk like we usually do, but 150 is a cool number.
So, it is.
I want to thank everybody so much for watching and subscribing and listening. Mm-hmm. And until next time, we love you.
Banana and out.
You're welcome.
I'm so glad we went live after Corey's very terrible pun.
Are you sure? I can re-record it if you want.
No, please don't. Please don't.
I can repeat it.
Okay. Okay. Hang on. All right, we ready? I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go right into it because I have to be to work a half hour early because it's holiday tonight.
Oh, what? You didn't tell me that. I would have moved faster.
No, it's fine. You were putting the baby to sleep. I cannot put pressure on that.
Would have made my wife do it herself.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Huh?
Don't do that. Shit.
Oh, I'm not even using the right camera. This is dumb. That's better.
Oh, God damn.
I'm prettier in HD.
Yes, you are.
Not really.
Yes, you are.
Wait, why are all my things just not? Do I sound better now?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
All my
settings gone.
Well, you sound great. Well, getting rid of them was okay. Not that close to the microphone. Nope. No oral fellatio here. Please stop.
Matthew.
Stop. Oh, God damn it.
Do my words seduce you?
Stop.
I'm comfortable with my sexuality. Are you?
That's great. I'm very comfortable, but it's just your comfort is making me uncomfortable.
I like to make you feel uncomfortable.
It's been a good weekend.
Good.
All right, so I'm going to start this. Okay.
Yeah, we should probably do that.
3, 2, 1.